didn't quite say, no, I am not looking for a banking license. But why would you? For an NBFC, it's always good to have a banking license with the advantage of the ability to raise cheap deposits. But we'll have to see the Reserve Bank's policy. The Reserve Bank has been a bit tight-fisted, even though it put licenses on tap. Okay, let's stick with the NBFC space. We are now being joined by Mr. V. Vaidyanathan, the Managing Director of Capital First. He's joining us from the sidelines of the Motilal Oswal conference in London. Mr. Vaidyanathan, good morning and thank you very much for joining us this early. First, just a little bit of the last of the demonetization questions. How has the collection efficiency been now in the last 50 days compared to what it was in Q3?
Collection efficiency has substantially improved in this quarter. In fact, even last year the impact was only marginal because we had actually migrated many of our customers from the physical means of collection to the electronic channels. But this quarter has almost substantially normalized.
Well, Mr. Vaidyanathan, did you use the RBI dispensation on gross NPAs in the Q3? And also, how are those performing in Q4 now?
We didn't use it because we didn't feel the need for it. Our gross NPA, even without using the RBI norms, was close to 1%, and net NPA was close to about 40 basis points, even after demonetization. So we thought we were quite comfortable with these numbers, so we really didn't use the RBI norms.
Mr. Vaidyanathan, we hear there is an impact on retail sales at some outlets after demonetization. How is, how is it that there is no impact on your portfolio?
You know, for the whole industry as a whole, for the SMEs as such, or even small entrepreneurs or consumers, the demonetization affected their business, but it didn't really collapse their businesses, right? It's a temporary slowdown that they all experienced, which is practically coming back this quarter. So, and usually entrepreneurs have their own ecosystem. Probably it could even be the social ecosystem that they all have. But usually the lenders' dues, they do clear up. And we did not see, as I told you, the NPA numbers, we did not see any significant impact on our portfolio.
All right, so then has normalcy in inquiries or disbursements come back in the Q4?
Third quarter of this financial year, disbursals were down 30% as compared to the previous quarter, that is Q2. In this quarter, month on month, things are coming back quite fast to normalcy. So clearly, Q4 of this year, it's back to normal. It's back to the Q2 numbers again. So I think growth has resumed back in India. Businesses are back to normal. You know, the cash is circulating in the system again. We don't see any complaints from customers that they don't have change anymore. Restaurants are going full again. So I think business is practically back to normal now.
Okay. Well, if you can give us the growth guidance then for the current year, there are only, 30 days left. As well, a growth guidance for FY18, if you can guess that.
We have usually guided in the range of between 22 to 25% for growth for year-on-year basis. This year has been a little higher than that. We think even for the next year, in that zone of growth, a year after that, in India, the areas that we do business in, these are largely underpenetrated. To grow at 23-25% is no problem at all.
Well, final question, sir, before we let you go. Have you been raising capital at regular levels, and what is the capital consumption rate per year?
Our in total capital, Tier 1, Tier 2 put together is about 3,300 crores, and our capital adequacy is about 21.5%. This should comfortably last us for maybe at least a minimum of 2 years. Usually we have noticed that about 1.5% a year is the kind of consumption of capital that happens from a Tier 1.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Nice of you to find time for us at that conference. Let's take a